Erasmus Sport funded ePhyLi project. The project, the ePhyLi, is all about empowering university students who are studying physical education and sports sciences in understanding and embracing physical literacy as a key concept for promoting healthy and active lifestyles, especially given their role as future teachers and I would say key socializing agents as well. So one of its key outcomes is the ePhyLi mobile application and gamified learning environment that blends educational content with interactivity. And this is where we are very pleased to welcome our speaker, Dr. Nicos Kasenides, who will guide us through the concept, through the features and development journey of the ePhyLi application. Dr. Kasenides, or Nicos, if I may. Nicos, is that okay? He's a lecturer in computing. Thank you. He's a lecturer in computing at UCLan Cyprus with a strong academic and research background in software engineering, distributed systems, cloud computing, and game-based learning environments. He completed his PhD in computing at the University of Central Lancashire in 2023 and has been involved in both teaching and applied research at UCLan Cyprus since 2018. He has been involved in various Erasmus Plus projects as a researcher and software developer and has published various educational applications through the years. He's the author and co-author of several papers related to mobile application development, human-computer interaction, user experience, and game-based learning, which are all relevant in today's discussion. His research extends in the areas of distributed systems and cloud computing, where he explores the use of cloud computing to develop and deploy real-time performance-intensive systems, such as multiplayer games. And obviously, his expertise on the intersection of technology, education, and gamification is what made him a really valuable asset to the ePhyLi team and the particular mobile application, which we'll explore more in depth today. So if anyone would like to know more about Nicos' work, if you don't know him already, please find him in LinkedIn, which I think he already shared with us through the invitation, or you may contact him directly via email. I assume that Nico, you will share your email at the end of the presentation with us.
Yes.
So yeah, moving on, cutting the long story short, Nicos will walk us through the structure and features of the mobile application, the key learning goals related to physical literacy, and the technical development behind the scenes. As you listen to him, please feel free to add your questions in the chat at any time. And there will be also time at the end of the session for open questions, comments, and reflections. And now I think it's time. It's my pleasure to invite Nicos to take the floor.
Thank you, Stati. Let me share my screen now. Right, so I think my screen is now being shared, right? Can you please confirm?
Yeah, we see the screen.
Yes, we see.
All right, thank you. So thank you, Stati, for having me, and thank you to everyone who has joined this webinar. Today, I'm going to talk about the ePhyLi app, which is aiming to promote physical literacy through gaming. First of all, let me say a few words about myself. I'm Nicos Kasenides. Stati did a pretty good job of introducing me, actually, so I will be very brief about this. I'm a lecturer in computing at UCLan Cyprus, and I specialize in software engineering. And part of that very broad field has to do with mobile and cross-platform application development, human-computer interaction and user experience, and serious games and gamification, which are used in various kinds of domains to educate people, to raise awareness to specific domains and so on. And one of those domains that we are looking at through this project, the ePhyLi project, is physical literacy. Right, so let me go through a brief overview of the presentation of the webinar. I'm going to briefly introduce the ePhyLi project overall and discuss its main objectives. Then I'm going to present the ePhyLi app and walk you through the objectives of the ePhyLi app, the different kinds of aims and components that are involved into designing the application, the key features and gamification elements of the app, and then we are going to have some time for you to look at various kinds of screenshots of the app, and also have the opportunity to download the app using QR codes that you can scan with your camera on your phone. And then a few words about the technical journey of developing the app, the different technical details briefly, and also the different kinds of challenges and how they were addressed, and the future plans that we have in order to improve the application in the near future. Right, so the ePhyLi project is an Erasmus Sport funded project, and it aims to promote physical literacy and healthy lifestyle through digital materials for university students. This is an approach that is essentially targeting university students through various kinds of digital tools, and one of those tools is the ePhyLi application. Along with the application, we have several other tools, but today we will focus specifically on the ePhyLi app. To understand basically in a very few words what physical literacy is, we have a definition for it. Even though I'm not an expert in physical literacy, there are people who are more knowledgeable in this domain. And I believe there are multiple definitions of physical literacy. One of those is the motivation, confidence, physical competence, knowledge and understanding to value engagement in physical activities. And this is a lifelong journey. So it's not something you can learn in a classroom and then this is it. This is something that you apply throughout your life, which makes it important to not just teach physical literacy in the classroom, but also through other kinds of media. And one of those media or tools is the ePhyLi app that we have developed. Right, so the ePhyLi app is a serious game. A serious game is a game of which the primary objective is not to entertain, but to educate or promote some kind of concept or another objective. And essentially, it's a serious game because it promotes physical literacy through various types of gamified activities. So it's a game, but it's not primarily interested in entertainment, even though entertainment is one of its goals. The primary motivation behind this game is to educate people with regards to physical literacy. First of all, it aims to provide an immersive experience to players. By immersive experience, we mean that players should be immersed in the game. They should feel one with their character in the game. They should believe that they are in a different dimension, let's say, when they are playing the game. It aims to combine educational material from other resources that we have in the ePhyLi project with storytelling. So essentially providing a scenario-based set of interactive activities with which players can engage with and learn about physical literacy, and also demonstrate the impact of various lifestyle choices on a player's character. Because having knowledge about physical literacy and applying the principles that you learn does have an actual effect on your lifestyle. So the key components and objectives that we have used in order to design the app are three. We have three major components. The first one is learning. we focus on providing physical literacy related definitions. So we have a set of definitions related to physical literacy that we have collected, and these are available in the app. News articles and curated social media posts, which are available through different resources, and also links to offline and online documents and resources that could be useful in learning more about physical literacy. Secondly, we have monitoring. We need to be able to help players track their progress, their own progress while playing the game, and also boost engagement and facilitate practice throughout their experience. And finally, we have socializing. Socializing regards to how players can interact with each other, how they can share and view their own progress, but also for other players as well, and access to potentially an activity feed from other players to see what the others are up to. We have three kinds of objectives with regards to the ePhyLi app. First of all, we have knowledge-related objectives. We should be able to teach through the app the fundamental concepts, different aspects of physical literacy, the impact of physical literacy on lifestyle and on health, and the cultural and environmental factors that are at play when it comes to physical literacy. Secondly, we have skill-related objectives. We want to allow the players to enhance their decision-making skills, and those decision-making skills can affect health, because when it comes to physical literacy and where you apply it, then it has an impact on others. Self-motivation and reflection, planning and goal setting, and social interaction skills with other people, and especially because we are targeting university students, this social interaction can enable students to share knowledge. Finally, we have the attitude-related objectives. These are pointing out the significance of physical literacy in personal and professional life of people, and the importance of inclusiveness and diversity. So some of the app's features are the fact that it enables players or users to be onboarded in a straight-away fashion. So new users of the app can begin using the app relatively quickly and without a lot of process involved. Firstly, we have one of the things that we have, which is also related to gamification, is a player avatar. The user can essentially create a profile the first time they go into the app, and then they will need to choose and personalize their avatar so that they can have some personalization, which helps very much with essentially tying themselves to that specific character. And then we have the ePhyLi buddy. The ePhyLi buddy is another character. This is supposed to be your friend. And the ePhyLi buddy is there to guide you through the journey of solving different kinds of challenges and provide guidance on how to use the app or how to solve the challenges themselves. And also we have a tutorial when a player begins their journey through the ePhyLi app. They are introduced gradually to the different features of the app as they go. And the tutorial helps them to do that so that they can learn how to actually use different things. Secondly, we have built in a challenge system. The challenge system composes of different physical literacy related challenges. And these kinds of challenges are related to the material that we have defined throughout the project in the ePhyLi ebook. These consist of various types of activities that we will see in a few minutes. When a player starts, all of the challenges are locked, and as they go through the game, they will get the chance to solve some activities and then unlock the next activities so they can progress through the game. Thirdly, we have a lot of material that we have defined through the project, and some of it is available in the ePhyLi app. We have a glossary of physical literacy terms. We have a news section and links to related material, as I mentioned before, and gamification elements such as badges, activity-based point systems, and player profiles that enable players to have some sense of creating a character and seeing the impact of their choices on that character. Also, we have some extra features, some things that are not part of the core, let's say, of the app, but they improve upon the app's objectives, especially the fact that we have translated it into 4 different languages, English, Greek, Italian, and French, makes it possible to reach a lot more people and engage with them and educate them in terms of physical literacy. We have a total of 13 challenges, and for each of those challenges, we have different kinds of activities. Some of those are different kinds of scenarios that include unique visualizations related to those scenarios, and the app is designed to be as accessible as possible for different people. Right, so regarding the challenges, which is, I guess, the most important bit of the app, we have a total of 13 challenges in total. All of these challenges together have multiple, some of them have multiple activities, and we have a total of 21 activities, which are based on the modules from the ePhyLi ebook. And as I mentioned before, this utilizes forward progression, meaning that at the start, all of the challenges are locked except the first one, and you need to go through, as a player, you need to go through all of the challenges one by one. By completing an activity or a challenge, that unlocks the next activity within the challenge, or if you complete the challenge altogether, that enables or unlocks rather the next challenge, so you can access it and solve it. Right. So each of the challenges awards 1 badge, and this is shown in the player's profile. And eventually in the future, the aim is to have these profiles go online and have players share their profiles with others. So let's go through some screenshots just to illustrate how the app works. And I'm sure that you will have the chance later on to try it out yourself. As I mentioned before, I will share the QR code so you can go either on Google Play Store or on Apple App Store and then download the app for your mobile device. First of all, we have the welcome screen. This allows you to choose your language and then to essentially create your profile. You have to enter your name and customize your avatar through a different selection of customization options. And then you need to pick the character, the friend, the ePhyLi buddy that I mentioned before, in order to help guide you through the journey of completing the challenges. The ePhyLi buddy is essentially your guide, and it can provide you with a lot of information that you need in order to get started, but also solve the challenges. So this is part of the tutorial of the app. It's a step-by-step process enabling you to learn what the app consists of and how to utilize it. And the main part of the app is actually the third screen that we see here, where we have the list of challenges. And as you can see, the first challenge is already unlocked, and you can get started by pressing the corresponding button on the screen to take a look at the activities and do them. Interestingly, when you complete the challenge, you get a tutorial badge. So learning how to use the app is one of the objectives, actually. So this is rewarded by getting a badge just by completing the tutorial. Right, so the badges are all visible within the player's profile. As you notice at the start of the app, you can pick your language, but if for some reason you want to change the language or even customize your avatar or change your name, this is where you need to go in order to make these customizations and also see the different badges that you have learned. Right, so once you complete some challenges, they will appear as completed. So as you move through, you can get a sense of completion and progression through the different challenges. And for each of the challenges, as I mentioned before, we have different activities. Initially, most of them are going to be locked, but the first one is going to be available for you to complete. And there are a lot of activities. These are just a few examples that I will mention, which are, I guess, some of the more interesting examples that we can discuss. The first one that we see here, it's in the fourth screenshot, is a multiple choice activity where you are given a quote or a prompt, let's say, and then you are asked to provide the answer to that question, or you are asked to pick the right option with regards to what is being stated in the text above. So in this case, you must pick one option. Essentially, if you pick the wrong option, let's say the incorrect answer, you are given feedback. So this does not move on straight away. You are given feedback that this was incorrect, and you're allowed 2 more attempts to get it right, and then the activity proceeds to the next stage. And this feedback allows the player to get feedback and understand potentially what they have done incorrectly. Right, so one of the other activities is the matching activity. We have a selection of different concepts and different terminologies related to physical literacy on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, we have the definitions for those terminologies. In essence, this is not a traditional matching activity in the sense that there is no one-to-one mapping, but some of these terminologies are actually correct, but they match to a different term that may not be appearing on the screen altogether, or they might be a wrong definition altogether. So it's not a traditional, let's say, matching activity. You have to actually know the definition and match the correct term to that definition, and also know that the definition is the correct one and not the wrong definition of that term. Right, so this is a free activity, and the matching activity is a free activity, meaning in the sense that you have as many opportunities as you want, and eventually, hopefully, you will understand what the term on the right represents. Then we have the mapping activity. This is an activity where we have different sorts of maps or diagrams, and the player needs to complete the diagrams, essentially the missing text or the missing terminologies or concepts that are included in the diagrams at the correct places. So you can click, for example, on one of the yellow boxes, and once you click on the box, there will be a pop-up that allows you to select from a variety of concepts, and you need to pick the correct concept. So as long as you map the correct concepts to the right places, you are correct, and you can move on to the next activity. We also have a timeline activity. This is an activity where we show different years, and which are in order, obviously, and then we have also some events that took place with regards to physical literacy, and they need to be matched to the correct year. Right. So one of the other activities is a multi-selection activity. This is in essence an activity where you need to read the text or the scenario that you're given in the text within the activity, and then read the prompt and decide on whether the scenario matches those activities or those potential categories that could be included. So in this case, you can pick from a variety of options, but some of them are actually a match, some of them are not a match, and some of them they are kind of in the middle, so they are represented with a yellow color. So in this case, you need to pick the correct options. As long as you pick the right options, and those that are in the middle, you can check your solution and it will be okay. You can proceed to the next question. But if you pick an incorrect option, then this is counted as incorrect, and you need to try and solve the puzzle again. Then we also have a balancing activity. This is where we have different groups, different categories related to physical literacy. And we have the 3 different parameters represented as bottles of water, essentially. And then through different options that you can select, you need to balance out those parameters to select the most appropriate option. So the correct answer here is not the answer that gives you the highest amount, let's say. So it's not the option that fills some of the bottles to the highest mark, let's say, but the correct answer is the one that gives you a lot of balance between the 3 different categories that we can see on the screen. So as long as you choose the right option, then you can click next, and going through different kinds of questions and categories, then you're able to complete the question. Also, we have fill in the words activity. This is an activity where we have a list of different physical literacy related terminologies, and we also have hints related to those definitions of these terminologies. And the player needs to go in and fill in the different letters in the words so that they can fill all of the words and complete the activity. And also we have build a tower activity. This is an activity where we have different learning models related to physical literacy. And based on the number of different models, we have different levels in the tower. So in this case, the tower is composed of 5 different levels. And each of those levels is composed of 7 different bricks, let's say. So each of the levels is a learning model, and each of the bricks in each of the learning models is actually a question that you need to answer. So as long as you get the majority of the questions in one of the learning models answered correctly, you can move on to the next level, and then to the next and to the next until you complete all of the levels. So actually you are allowed to only do 2 mistakes. So in this case, you would need to get 5 of the questions right in each model to reach the next level and eventually build the tower. We also have an interactive scenario activity. This is basically a multiple choice question, but in the context of a given scenario. And you can pick different options from those provided to you, but the idea is that as long as you pick the right options, you will complete the activities and you will get positive feedback. Otherwise, this will give you feedback that you got the answer, your response was incorrect, and then this will affect the next scenario and the next activity. Right. So we have also implemented an activity where the player needs to pick different skills or qualities that are focused on development with regards to physical literacy. And in this case, you get a set of lives, essentially, which will run out in case you pick the wrong qualities or skills. In this case, we have different stages, and if you pick an incorrect option, then you lose 1 life. But throughout the stages, because there are multiple stages, you need to pick the right options and avoid running out of lives, essentially, to complete this activity. And finally, we have the glossary. If at any point or at the start of the journey, if at any point the player wants to revisit the terminologies or to view those definitions that are related to the activity that they are trying to solve, they can go out of the challenge, out of the activity, and visit the glossary, which is accessible through the main screen, and click on one of these terms to view their definition, and hopefully learn the new definition, the correct definition for that term, and revisit the challenge to complete it correctly. Right, so I will leave this on the screen for some time because this is you can use these QR codes and scan them with your phone in order to download the app on your own devices. The app is available on Android and iOS. So if you have an Android and iOS device, a mobile phone or a tablet, you can use your camera to scan the QR code and download the app. Bear in mind that this app is currently in beta, so we are still making improvements on the app and implementing new features up to the end of the project itself. Please feel free to use the app and go through the challenges and try and see what this is about.
Thank you so much, Nico. I think this is the concluding slide. Is that correct?
Actually, I have one more. I just paused for some time for the participants to scan the QR codes. The next slide is actually the finishing one, Stati. So please bear with me. So a few words about the technical journey, because I know that some of the participants today are coming from the computing field and are studying for their BSc in computing. This was developed to be an Android and iOS app based on the requirements that we've had, work and Dart, which is something that we teach in UCLan Cyprus. Flutter is a very powerful framework that enables us to develop apps for both kinds of operating systems, both for Android and iOS devices. The app was designed with modularity in mind. So essentially what this means is that any part of the app, especially those that have to do with the challenges and the different components that go into making each challenge all together, these are all designed to be extensible and reusable. So they can be utilized again in different kinds of challenges as the app as the app proceeded with adding more and more material. And perhaps in the future, if we need to add additional challenges, this is made easier through this modular design. Secondly, we have used the Agile Development Methodology, or ADM. This is development methodology which enables us to go through different cycles, essentially. This is called incremental and iterative development. And this is where different sprints are utilized. Sprints, they are not actual physical sprints. I know we are talking about physical literacy. They are not physical sprints, but development sprints, essentially, which are basically cycles of development. And in each cycle, you get basically a working product, a working app that you can then discuss with your peers or with other partners and make improvements or make the necessary adjustments or additions to improve upon what you have developed previously. So these are the different sprints. Obviously, different challenges were completed at different stages, different kinds of features like the badge system, the glossary, the internationalization with the translations, and the deployment itself of the app. This leverages periodic reviews and feedback. So in essence, this allows us to discuss more, especially because we have a lot of different people of physical literacy background that are essentially in sports science. I myself are a software engineer, so these are very different domains essentially, and that's a problem because there is some impedance mismatch, if you will, some miscommunication with regards to that, and it's important to go through the reviews, to go through feedback, and try and see what we can improve together by having discussions about it. And finally, we have tested the app on a variety of physical and virtual devices, which enabled us, and we are still testing it actually, which enables us to target as many kinds of devices as possible and ensure the highest quality in terms of the design and in terms of the functionality of the app. And finally, the source code for this app is available online on GitHub. So if you want to take a look at it, please feel free to do that. And finally, the future plans. Obviously, when you develop a software product like the ePhyLi app, it's important to address any problems that you have introduced through different kinds of features that were implemented. We want to make a few language improvements because not all of the translations are actually correct or the best they could be. So that's one of the key areas that we want to focus on in the future. We want to better address physical literacy, educational material, and make sure that it's correct through addressing the different challenges and making sure that they actually have the correct material and the material is the right one for that challenge. We also want to make improvements to the ePhyLi body to enable it to provide more suggestions while someone is going through a challenge. And finally, address more monitoring and socialization objectives because those objectives will enable the app to provide a higher value in terms of engagement. Yes, thank you. So I would love to get your questions and respond to them if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Nico. It was, yeah, I would say an insightful, engaging presentation, and it's really fascinating to see how technology and pedagogy, physical education, sports science may come together and support physical literacy in such a creative and impactful way. And I truly believe that the ePhyLi app represents an important step in reimagining on how we can engage higher education students and even future PE teachers, future software engineers to understand how things work in a collaborative manner and even lead active and meaningful learning while they study. So yeah, as Nicos mentioned, I would like to invite you all to ask questions if you have. Please also feel free to type your questions in the chat if you prefer. Ask directly. You can raise your hand or just open your microphone and ask. I might start with a question if that's okay, and and if anyone has a question, just feel free to put in the chat. So Nico, following from the last couple of slides, you mentioned that you come from a different background. I mean, comparing sports science and computer engineering, it's a different thing. Therefore, what are the main challenges and what are the issues that you had to address in order to develop this application?
Thank you, Stati. So actually, we tried to use a few sports terminologies. As you have seen, we have agile, we have sprints. So we have some concepts, maybe, if you will, that we drew from the sports and physical education realm, I think. But they represent different things, obviously, but they are still there. So one of the key challenges was, aside from the technical challenge, which is always a thing, so actually designing and implementing such software is always a challenge, especially when it comes to providing educational value. That's always a problem, and you have a lot more considerations to make compared to implementing some other kind of app that does not have an educational goal inside. So this is one of the challenges, but the biggest challenge for me, I would say, was the fact that we have this impedance mismatch, if you will, from different people from different backgrounds coming together in order to address this goal and these challenges, the different challenges that we have seen. So with regards to that, I believe that the key challenge here was the communication between the teams members. And the fact that we all came from different fields made it harder for us to communicate the requirements of the app and how to address the objectives. So you can already guess that you already know this from experience throughout the project, obviously, but that results to time wasted frequently, time that you have to spend going back and reviewing things all of the time, redefining things that you have done before, generating different ideas and trying to communicate them to other people. And those people might not understand correctly what you mean. So because they come from different backgrounds. So this is always a problem, but I don't think this project and the ePhyLi app, more precisely, would have been possible by one person or by one specific field or by one specific partner being involved in the project. So this is one of the important bits of collaboration of bringing people in from different departments, different fields, and enabling teamwork essentially and communication between them and the generation of ideas that results to such digital tools like the ePhyLi app and their effectiveness in providing educational material, in this case with regards to physical literacy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more with you. So sometimes it's a word game, especially when it comes to a second language. Having physical literacy, physical education, physical activity for non-sports students, or computer engineering and software engineering, computer science for the sports students might mean the same thing, but it's all the time proper understanding of the terminologies before we go into the actual context. And yes, besides that, I would absolutely agree. And this was a great learning opportunity for all of us, regardless of the experience that some of the people involved in the project with the European projects. We realize how important it is to have this mutual collaboration between different disciplines in order to achieve our goals. And that was a very valuable lesson for all. So building on this, do you think it would be possible to use this app to provide an interactive learning experience in different contexts or different domains?
Okay, so the answer here is yes and no. I would say no first, because the ePhyLi app is specifically designed and tailored for the ePhyLi project. It's created with physical literacy in mind. So the challenges present specific material, they present specific scenarios, they visualize specific scenarios with physical literacy always in mind. So this is tied to the project. So the ePhyLi app itself is not something you can reuse, but the components that go in it, the design choices, the different kinds of activities, and some of those activities are actually reusable. You can extract the material that we have implemented specifically for physical literacy and swap it with another kind of material that addresses a different domain, for example. So that, as an example, that could be learning programming or learning chess or learning another kind of different skill. So with that regard, I would say that no, the app itself cannot be reused to facilitate the learning of other concepts or domains, but the constructs that have gone in it, the components, are reusable and they can be leveraged in other domains as well.
Now this is clear. Thank you so much. I see that there are no questions in the chat, and I might have one more last question, but before we go to that one, I would like to kindly ask Olia to share with us a QR code for evaluating this webinar before we reach to the end. We have only a few minutes left, so it will be a a good idea to have the evaluation ongoing. So if you all please scan this QR code and provide us feedback, would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, you will receive a link anyway upon the closing of the webinar. And again, we would kindly ask you to provide us your opinion. So Nico, moving on to the last question. Finally, concluding, what are the benefits of using such an application?
Right, so the ePhyLi app is, as I mentioned at the start of the webinar, it's a serious game. So its objective is to provide education to people, to students, more precisely in this case, university students. So the benefit of that is providing that education, obviously, but there are different ways to provide education, as you know. So we have the traditional, let's say, options where we go into a classroom, we deliver material, and the students will go through quizzes or tests or exams in order to evaluate, for us to evaluate what they have learned. That's one approach. The app is a tool that utilizes a different approach, which is essentially gamification, which is where you use features from games and make them available in a way that allows students, in this case, to learn different kinds of concepts related to what you want to define. So in this case, one of the key things is the different features that are employed through gamification. So we have point systems, we have badges, as you have seen, we have different kinds of avatars or the ePhyLi body itself that we have employed through the app. And through these reward systems and these customizations, there is research to support that the participants' brain, the students' brain in this case, if you will respond better by having some active challenge that provides some kind of reward at the end. And research points out towards the usefulness of this particular approach, and that can increase engagement as much as 60%, as some studies have concluded. So it's a huge benefit of having a digital tool because, as you know, a lot of students today have their smartphones with them. They use their smartphones for different kinds of things. So why not use this kind of application to increase engagement of students with regards to learning a particular concept like physical literacy. So one of the key other things is the immediate feedback that they get. So through the app, they get immediate feedback for their choices, the things that they have done or picked as responses to their questions, and that allows them to instantly recognize whether or not they have done something correct or something wrong, go through the feedback loop, and then go back and correct their choices or learn, or at least learn why the choice that they have picked is incorrect. And I would say finally, the tools like the ePhyLi app make the progress of going through the material a bit more visible, because when you're in a classroom and you go through lectures or you go through slideshows or you go through notes, you don't typically see how much progress you have made. And such digital tools have the benefit of showing you actually how much progress you have done through visualizing that progress and making it possible for you to reflect on how much you have accomplished throughout your engagement with the app. So obviously there is a lot more to cover because this is a large topic, but these are the main points essentially that provide the key benefits of having a digitalized tool like the ePhyLi app to engage with students.
This is really it's brilliant. You know, the more we chat, the more I realize how important collaboration is. So we're reaching to the end of the webinar, and I really hope that today's session has sparked, if if you will. Some new ideas maybe inspired you to explore how gamified learning tools like the ePhyLi app can be integrated into your own work, your own education, collaboration, and even commonly developed ideas and projects. I would love to encourage our students, the sports students, to speak with computing students and find a way to collaborate while they're at the university. Final year projects, double research projects, even other initiatives that the university offer to them. So again, a big thank you to all who joined today. Nico, special thanks to you for giving us such a valuable insight into the application development. It was a great journey, and we still have some way to go. Hopefully, we'll reach there smoothly by the end of this year. I would like to take this opportunity also to invite all of you at the final project conference, which will take place at UCLan Cyprus in October. Olia, October 2025.
Exactly. Yes, at UCLan Cyprus.
Yeah, we will share more information about the event when the time comes. So before we sign this off, please stay connected with the ePhyLi project. You can find it online. Visit the website, visit the social media. We will continue to share updates, resources, future events, and that will be all. Thank you again for being with us today, and we look forward to welcoming you to the next webinar. We have one more to go, and that will be next week, 11 o'clock. Until then, take care, and of course, stay active. Yeah. Thank you, Nico. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.